Hey everyone, my name is Elliot, and this is the Helcim and JobTread integration video. Using DataX as your automation middleman partner, we've created a Helcim integration that gives you invoicing capabilities with your Helcim account inside of your JobTread account. So DataX is the middleman, so we're going to log into DataX. So we're going to go to the toolbox, and you'll see all of the different tools, and we've got the Helcim integration here. We're going to open this, and we've got a lot of settings to go through. If you ever need to reference this video again, it'll always be up here. Okay, so starting from the beginning, we need our Helcim API token. We're going to log into Helcim. We're going to go to All Tools, scroll down to Integrations. You can see I have mine already set. You're going to do a new API access. Name it something like DataX. And then the recommended settings from Helcim are read and write on general. Settings need to also be read and write, and transaction process needs to be admin. So these are the recommended settings for API. Hit create, and you'll get a token here. So you want to take this token, copy and paste it into this section here. Next is the URL tag. My company is built with love, and that's the little tag up here at the beginning. So whatever's in front of my Helcim, don't grab the period, but grab this little section here and put it there, the URL tag. Next, you're going to go to the webhook URL. We're going to take this webhook. So this is sending data every time you have a successful payment on one of your Helcim invoices. It needs to send that, it needs to tell DataX that, hey, we have a successful payment on this invoice. So we're going to copy this. We're going to go to this URL. You can copy and paste that, or you can click this button. I made it easy. So we're going to go here. It's going to take you to myhelcim.com/admin/webhooks. You're going to take this webhook URL and paste it right here. In the deliver URL, click card transaction, click save. You might have to turn, if you don't see this, you might have to turn this webhook on right there. Once you get all of that input, hit save here, and it'll save your Helcim API configuration. Now we need to do the JobTread settings. We need to select a customer custom field. And what this does is it saves the Helcim customer ID, which is a string of letters. It's going to save that in JobTread so we can match those customers easier, because it's really difficult to match customers from JobTread into Helcim without knowing what their ID is. So we're going to save that in a custom field. You probably don't have that custom field set up yet. So we're going to create a new custom field. We're going to call it whatever you want. I'm going to call mine Helcim customer ID. I'm going to hit create. And that's going to create that custom field on the customer in JobTread for you. So you don't have to go back to JobTread to create it. I've created a little button here for you to do that. Now when you drop down, you should see that here. We're going to select that. That is saying, hey, when we create an invoice in Helcim, we're going to look for this customer ID on the JobTread customer custom field section, so we can match that customer. If that Helcim customer doesn't exist, we will make that connection and then save the new customer from Helcim, save that ID in JobTread. So it's okay if it's blank. We're going to do all that for you, but we just need a place to save it. So we're defining that place to save it here. Now this is where the magic happens. This is your payment link template. So we're going to have two curly brackets, payment underscore link underscore Helcim, two curly brackets. You can change this variable to whatever you want it to be, but this is what we look for as DataX when you create an invoice in JobTread. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to document templates. I'm on my invoice document template. You could even make this invoice Helcim. So you have, well, maybe not document name. We'll do that on the template name. So we know this invoice document template has this pay link. Maybe you want to send invoices without the Helcim pay link. So that's why you would have separate document templates. But on this one, I keep this here as a refresher. So as we're creating invoices, we know, oh, we need to go and add stuff here. And this is manual, but these curly brackets are the variable that's dynamic. So you notice here we have it payment link colon that variable here. So now when we create an invoice from this document template, it's going to replace this variable with a link to the Helcim invoice for your clients to pay. And I'll show you an example in a second. But you need this in a document template, so when you create the invoice, that variable exists when you create the invoice. If you add the variable after the documents are already created, DataX doesn't know to connect that Helcim invoice because the document's already created. We only get notified at DataX when you create the invoice, and that has to be there in the document template, so it exists when you create the invoice. If you add it after, we're not going to know to do that. So make a document template. If you put in the email message, we do not look here. We only look in the invoice details here. Okay, you're going to save that document template. Now let's go back here. Last thing is we want to create a webhook in JobTread to send to DataX. Every time you create an invoice, it's sending that notification to DataX to say, hey, DataX, Built with Love just created an invoice. Here's all the information of the invoice. And DataX goes, oh, okay, let me see. Oh, Built with Love has the Helcim integration turned on. I'm going to go create the invoice in Helcim. I'm going to put the payment link in JobTread. I'm going to connect the customer IDs. And boom, it's done. So all you have to do is just click this button here. It's going to create the webhook. If you want to check that the webhook was created, you're going to go to Settings, Integrations, JobTread API, Webhooks, and you should see it. WinYourData.com API/Helcim. So it's there. Okay, so now that we have all of our settings, let's go to an example so you can see. So I've got a test job here, and we're going to go create an invoice for our site and prep work. New document, invoice, $1,000, create. So we'll wait a few seconds. We can change some settings. Change the subject line. Okay, refresh the page and you see we've got our payment link here. It input it automatically for us. We can change our details here. And save this. So now when we send this to our client, they also have this payment link here. They can click on it and it will pull up their Helcim invoice where they can pay or do whatever they need to. When this invoice is paid, it will mark the JobTread invoice as paid. So make sure you send it. And then when the Helcim invoice is paid, the JobTread invoice will be marked as paid. And that's everything you need to know about how the Helcim integration works. Now, if you have any issues or if you're curious of what's happening, you can scroll down to the historic runs here. You'll be able to see everything that happens. You can see when our invoices are created, when invoices are deleted. Here's all my testing I was doing. And if you want to see anything, so this invoice we just created here, you can click on the three dots and view all the details. It took 1.2 seconds to do that entire automation. You can see different things about it. You can even go view the document on JobTread, view the invoice on Helcim from inside of here. So that's the Helcim integration. I hope you guys really enjoy it. We put a lot of time and effort into this. Let us know if there's anything we can improve or add or change, and we'll catch you on the next one. Later. So as I'm sitting here recording, there are two things that we should talk about real quick. The first thing is the Helcim payment link with the two curly brackets. You can put whatever you want inside the two curly brackets. Just hit save. If you want a different variable, let's say like DataX or Built with Love payment link or Helcim payment, you can change that as long as there's two curly brackets on the end there. Just hit the save and we'll remember that and know if you wanted something special. The second thing is most people use Helcim because they can pass the fees to the person paying the invoice. So the issues that we're going to run into are if you have a $400 invoice, you pass the fees on, the client's going to pay $412. We're going to create a payment. DataX is going to create a payment inside of JobTread for $412, but we can only apply $400 to the invoice that was for $400. So we can mark the invoice paid for $400, and there's going to be a $12 kind of overage or credit kind of floating. So you could take care of it in your accounting software, QuickBooks, Sage. You can take care of it in those places. Or another way to do it, you can do create a new invoice for $12, call it credit card processing fees, and apply that $12 floating amount to a document. So something to think about, something to take care of on your end. We do as much as we can with our integration, but just wanted to clear out any of those questions before you get started with the integration. Hope you like it.